Welcome back to We Are Austin. The seasons are changing, and spring forward is upon us, aka daylight savings time. From sleep disruption to hormone level swings, the time change can have a real impact on some people's bodies. Happily Ray Solano, pharmacist, certified clinical nutritionist, and owner of PDLabs, a specialty pharmacy, is here to share some tips to help us feel good during this time transition. Hey, Ray.
Hey, yeah, that's exactly right. We got to have everybody feel good during this transition. The only problem is that this rolling back the time is bad for our body. You know, the daylight savings times affects our internal circadian clocks, which affects every cell in our body. That influences our biological workings, or our hormones, and even our blood pressure. And this is the reason why we have a big surge in accidents and even heart attacks and strokes. So we want people to understand that there's some a little bit of problems with daylight savings time. And, you know, there was an opinion in JAMA, that's a Journal of American Medical Association Neurology, said that from switching from daylight savings time to standard time is bad for the brain. Can you believe that?
Interesting.
You know, going back and forth, they say, is the quotation, is ridiculous, and it makes no sense. And this change in the clock really affects our health. But we have some solutions for that.
Okay, so before we get into your solutions, let's talk a little bit more about the details. First of all, so right now we're talking about daylight savings times, and it's spring forward. So what exactly does that mean for our timing again?
So we will lose an hour of sleep. And you say, well, just 1 hour, but it just throws your entire circadian rhythms off.
So that was my next question. I've spent a lot of time reading about circadian rhythms, but maybe somebody at home is watching and listening and saying, what is circadian rhythm? I haven't heard that term before. What is that exactly?
Well, it's when our body goes into this detoxification mode. That's what sleep is all about, is changing and taking the trash out of our brain and really going into a different mode. And the sunlight makes a difference. The timing is when your body goes in this rebuild mode. So that's why it's really important to have a calming events and have sleep hygiene that starts those things. And unfortunately, our body has a clock. And that's what the circadian rhythms are, as our body's own clock.
Yes, thank you for setting that context for us. So now we're talking about feeling good, which is something, that's a term I really like. How do we prioritize feeling good right now? And that's where you specialize. So what solutions do you have when it comes to this topic?
Well, getting a good night's sleep is so important to feeling good. And so what we've come up with is, many people have suggested over time integrating more melatonin to help us with jet lag and also shift work. It's really important to get those important levels of melatonin in our body. But guess what? We found out that going out in the sun, especially during the middle of the day, increases our melatonin levels. Not only vitamin D, but also melatonin levels in the cells of our body, these mitochondria. So your body is able to make its own melatonin, and it's important to get some infrared sun so you can help with that, because guess what? Taking melatonin is very poorly absorbed. That's why it's important to get a good grade melatonin or pharmaceutical prescription for it. But, you know, we come up with a solution of combining all these ingredients that we have found to be good for sleep, to help with that internal clock. We called it deep blue sleep, that has melatonin with it, with all three special ingredients that help get absorbed to also help you get some sleep.
That sounds very restful. Did you say deep blue sleep?
That's what it's called. It's called deep blue sleep.
That sounds like my Spotify playlist at nighttime. I'm very interested in this.
I like look everything. At the bottle and you get a little bit sleepy.
Yeah, there you go. I like everything you just shared, because I'm convinced there's really nothing the sun, like time in the sunshine, can't help us with. And so I feel like you're just adding to that long list of great benefits from getting outside, obviously with necessary precaution or sunscreen or whatever it is that's right for you. But just being outside can have such healing effects. What else do you want us to know about this new formula that you've bottled nature into?
It's really inexpensive. It's very safe, even for children, because, a lot of our teens and early kids have a hard time going to sleep as well. So it's important, even from our elderly. Pharmaceuticals are usually given for sleep, and we prefer this as be your first choice. So it's called Deep Blue Sleep, and it's good for everyone, and it has very little side effects with any other prescription medication.
Which is nice, yeah. The less interaction with other things, the better.
Right.
So you know that your quality of well-being isn't going to be disrupted. So this is an example of the types of things you create at PDLabs. You are a specialty pharmacy. I know you're always really interested in educating people and giving them tools to be proactive about their own health. Coming up soon in April, you have your 6th annual seminar. What's that going to look like?
Exactly. Our 6th annual seminar, we're really proud because this year we have, again, some of the most recognized international speakers that are going to reveal the new protocols for immune health and restoration that nobody is talking about. So we're always about a year ahead of everybody else. So we're opening it up to anybody that wants to get a little bit of a graduate level course in medicine. Check out our website, PDLabsRx.com, because you know what? We believe there's common sense approaches to your health, and that's what our tagline is. Everybody just take responsibility for your health. So give us a call, at 512-219-0724, and especially if you're interested in getting some sleep. You know what? It's also start early. Get a little bit extra sleep now, because we got about a week before this all changes.
That's a good point. Thanks, Ray. Anything else you want us to know before we wrap up?
Well, you give us a call at 512-219-0724. Check out our website. We got a lot of free information, podcasts. That's PDLabsRx.com. And also, we find out that we always have some new tips for everybody all the time.
Thank you for your time. We'll see you soon.